You know that moment when karma doesn't just show up? It shows up in high heels, holding popcorn, and says, "Watch this." Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into 30 glorious stories where pettiness meets poetic justice. From HOA tyrants finally tasting their own rules, to office bandits getting outsmarted by passive-aggressive geniuses. This isn't just revenge. This is reform with a sense of humor. No violence, no chaos, just sweet, satisfying consequences served cold, sometimes with sprinkles. So grab your drink, sit back, and prepare to say at least 5 times, "Ooh, they had it coming." Let's get into it. Number 1. The parking spot pirate. You know the type. He rolls in late, ignores the reserve sign, and parks in your clearly marked spot like it's his divine right. For months, one guy kept stealing his coworker's designated parking space. Passive-aggressive notes didn't work. Pleading didn't work. So the coworker went full Bond villain. On a quiet Friday afternoon, he parked an ancient, rust-covered clunker in the stolen spot. 4 flat tires, no plates, a handwritten sign on the dash read, "I'm here for good." The parking pirate spent 2 weeks hiking 5 blocks in dress shoes while HR tried to figure out how to remove the zombie car. By the time it was towed, the pirate had apparently discovered the wonders of public transportation. Number 2. There's always that one guy in the office who thinks company supplies are his personal inventory. This guy treated the office printer like it was his own Kinko's. Reams of paper mysteriously vanished, especially around the end of the month when his Etsy side hustle went into overdrive. But HR was onto him. One day, they swapped the regular paper for prank sheets that had a special watermark. As soon as the printer warmed up, every single page came out with the text, "Stolen from Acme Inc. Do not trust this person." The best part? He handed those flyers out at a local convention. Rumor has it, even his customers ghosted him harder than a bad Tinder date. Number 3. Resume padding is practically a sport, but one guy took it to Olympic levels. He claimed to speak fluent Mandarin to look good for upper management. And for a while, it worked. He got promotions, praise, and even got to brag during meetings. Then a VIP client from Beijing came to town. Management, positively beaming, asked him to give a welcome speech. He broke out in a sweat, pulled out his phone, and started typing into Google Translate faster than you can say "ni hao." It didn't help. Between awkward pauses and the client's raised eyebrows, the truth came out faster than his browser history. He now works at a retail store that doesn't require foreign language skills, unless you count deciphering receipt codes. Number 4. Some upstairs neighbors walk lightly. Others stomp like they're chasing rogue elephants. And then there's tap-dancing Todd. Every night at 3 a.m., Todd treated his hardwood floor like Broadway. His downstairs neighbors suffered through nightly recitals until inspiration struck. They installed a tiny Bluetooth speaker inside the ceiling tiles, just above Todd's bedroom. Then, at random hours, the speaker played unsettling sounds, whispers, Gregorian chants, a distant baby crying, and the occasional meowing cat. 3 weeks later, Todd broke his lease and moved out, muttering something about the building being haunted. The tap shoes were never heard again. Number 5. Meet Karen, yes, that's her real name, who ruled her suburban neighborhood's HOA like it was her own personal fiefdom. Imagine a queen with a clipboard and a thirst for aesthetic conformity. She fined people for using the wrong shade of beige on their shutters, and once nearly started a civil war over a child's inflatable pool shaped like a duck. But Karen made a fatal mistake. She thought no one would read the bylaws. Spoiler alert, someone did. One especially fed-up resident channeled their inner legal eagle and combed through every dry paragraph of the HOA rules. Turns out our tyrant Karen hadn't paid her own HOA fees for over a year. That's right, She was issuing fines while being in violation herself. The result? A perfectly legal coup. She was removed from the board by a vote triggered under her own policies. Poetic justice served room temperature, just how HOA meetings like it. Number 6. Ah yes, the mysterious microwave marauder, stealing lunches like it was Ocean's 11 but with leftover lasagna. Every office has one, but in this case, justice wore a stained smile. One clever employee decided to set the bait, a bowl of innocent-looking mac and cheese. Except the cheese was dyed bright Smurf blue. Next thing you know, the usual suspect walks around with a neon grin that screams, "I eat stolen food." He tried to deny it, but unless he'd suddenly developed a diet of highlighters, the case was closed. Office fridge peace was restored for a week. Number 7. Imagine showing up at your ex's wedding, uninvited, wearing too much cologne and insecurity. That's exactly what this man did, loudly announcing to anyone within earshot how free and thriving he felt. But fate, and the maid of honor, had other plans. She grabbed the mic and sweetly asked, "Aren't you the one from that TikTok, crying in a bathtub with Celine Dion playing?" The entire room burst into applause. Even Grandma clapped. And just like that, he became part of the entertainment package, free of charge. Number 8. We've all lived near that person. The one who communicates exclusively through sticky notes, passive-aggressively judging your cheese choices and the acoustics of your breathing. But one fed-up dorm resident decided to strike back, with class. Every day, they left notes in poetic Shakespearean English. "Thine cheese offendeth my nostrils most cruelly," and "Wouldst thou kindly bin the refuse ere it grows legs?" It was like a bard had moved in. After 2 weeks of poetic warfare, the original note leaver vanished into the night, probably to find a fridge less judgmental of brie. Number 9. There's always one caffeine bandit in every office, the guy who treats communal coffee like it's a personal espresso bar. He guzzled every drop daily, never refilled, never contributed. So, the team plotted. They swapped his brew for decaf, silently watching as he powered down like an old iPod. Days later, he complained, "The coffee just doesn't hit anymore." He declared a caffeine cleanse and stopped showing up early. Miraculously, the full pot lasted until noon again. Balance was restored to the break room. Number 10. A student handed in an essay that was suspiciously brilliant. Suspicious as in, straight from Wikipedia. The professor didn't yell. He didn't even deduct points. Instead, he printed the original Wikipedia article and calmly underlined all the parts the student didn't copy. That's right. The kid didn't even Control-C the full thing. Just picked random bits and submitted the Frankenstein monster of term papers. Next semester, the student re-enrolled. Same class. New rule. No copy-pasting. And maybe, just maybe, read the first paragraph this time. Number 11. Ah, yes, every office has one. The intern who thinks he's Steve Jobs on day 2. This guy showed up in khakis, a smug smile, and a business card that just said, "Visionary." So when the post-party cleanup began and someone handed him a mop, he responded with the legendary phrase, "I didn't go to college to clean floors." Management, in their infinite wisdom and dark sense of humor, told him, "Totally understand. Instead, why don't you lead a project to automate floor cleaning?" The intern's eyes lit up like he'd just been handed a startup. 1 week later, he was hunched over in the break room, scrubbing spaghetti out of 20 half-dead Roombas that had sucked up streamers, cake crumbs, and, somehow, an entire stapler. He didn't go to college for this, but now he has a PhD in humble pie. Number 12. In every group project, there's that one person who disappears for 3 weeks and magically reappears the night before the deadline saying, "Hey, can you just add my name to the final version?" This guy did exactly that, and the group, being wise beyond their GPA, said, "Sure thing, buddy." Come presentation day, he struts up to the front like he built the internet himself, clicks to the slide with his name on it, and bam! The slide redirects to a YouTube video titled, "How to Contribute Nothing and Still Fail." It had 37 views, all from the same classroom. The best part? He stayed in the same class next semester. This time he brought cookies to the first group meeting. Character development, folks. Number 13. Small town. One main street. Everyone knows your dog's birthday, and yet somehow, this guy thought his BMW exempted him from using turn signals. His reasoning? Driver's intuition. I go where I feel the universe tells me. After weeks of nearly causing bumper-to-bumper therapy sessions, the town decided enough was enough. One Monday morning, every driver began driving exactly like him, cutting him off, switching lanes without warning, and stopping suddenly while staring into the horizon. Within 2 days, he was at the DMV, voluntarily surrendering his license and muttering something about a glitch in the matrix. The glitch was just karma in a Ford Focus. Number 14. You haven't truly experienced humanity until you've stood in line at the DMV with a dead phone, no snacks, and someone ahead of you filling out forms like they're writing a novel. But this guy? He barreled past the entire line shouting, "No one here needs anything and I'm in a rush." The DMV clerk, trained in the ancient art of silence and soul-crushing eye contact, simply smiled and said, "Booth 1, sir." What he didn't know was Booth 1 hadn't worked since the Bush administration. There he sat, in a vinyl chair from 1984, staring at a broken photo camera for 40 minutes. Everyone else got served before him. By the time he was called again, he had learned the meaning of patience and humiliation. Number 15. Every gym has that guy. Tank top with motivational slogans, a tripod the size of a fishing pole, and a commitment to content creation that makes you wonder if he even lifts. He'd spend 20 minutes posing on every machine, blocking lines and asking strangers to act natural in the background of his thirst traps. But one day, the gym revolted. Everyone, yes, everyone, turned their phones to selfie mode. They surrounded him like paparazzi at a red carpet. Some gave him lighting tips. One guy narrated in a David Attenborough voice. Another started slow clapping. The influencer became the influenced. The next morning, his gym membership was canceled for mental clarity. Rumor has it he now jogs in anonymity at 5 a.m., wearing a hoodie and sunglasses. Number 16. In every office, there's that guy, the one who thinks the shared printer is his personal meme factory. While the rest of the office was rationing ink like it was wartime, this dude was secretly printing hundreds of memes. Some funny, some tragic, most stolen from 2012. Pages of Doge, Grumpy Cat, and "You won't believe what happens next" started flooding out of the tray like an unstoppable wave of cringe. The IT department, tired, underpaid, and fueled only by black coffee, decided to strike back. They rerouted his login so that every document he tried to print came out with just one thing: his own face. Pixelated, confused, judging himself. He tried once, twice, 50 times, same result. After a week, the printer was finally silent. The memes were over. It won. Chaos 0. Number 17. Every neighborhood has one. The noise enforcer. The "I pay taxes, so I own this street" person. In this case, it was a woman who'd call the cops if someone coughed too enthusiastically. Leaf blower at 4 p.m.? Noise complaint. Dog barked once in 2018? Still mad about it. But karma came gift-wrapped on her birthday. The entire street organized a silent disco. People danced, laughed, partied, wearing wireless headphones, not a sound to be heard. From her window, she watched in disbelief, clutching her rotary phone, waiting to dial 911, but couldn't, because technically it was just people exercising in rhythm, with glow sticks. She sat there for hours. No sirens came, just the deafening silence of poetic justice. Number 18. You know office lunch theft is real when people start writing their names on grapes. For months, sandwiches vanished, burritos evaporated, leftovers were devoured by the mysterious fridge bandit. People suspected everyone, from the intern to the janitor to Carol in accounting. She did eat suspiciously well. But one day, someone snapped. They crafted the ultimate trap, a sandwich layered with ghost peppers, wasabi, sriracha, and what we can only describe as pure evil in a bun. 5 minutes after placing it in the fridge, a wild scream echoed from the hallway. The suspected thief was seen sprinting to the restroom, sweat pouring like a broken faucet. After that day, no more stolen lunches, and definitely no more turkey melts with a side of trauma. Number 19. Ah, yes, corporate life, the magical realm where ideas flow and Steve steals all of them. Steve was the kind of middle manager who wouldn't lift a finger, but had a sixth sense for showing up right before a presentation to slap his name on it. "We did this together," he'd say. "Sure, Steve. Sure." But the team had had enough, so they started feeding him decoy ideas. They convinced him that clients love neon green spreadsheets, Comic Sans PowerPoints, and ending every pitch with a karaoke performance. Steve, ever the visionary, went full throttle. The client sat in stunned silence. Then they stood up, thanked him for his time, and took their business elsewhere. Steve was moved to another department, probably in a basement, with no printer access. Number 20. Imagine living under what sounds like a weekly rhinoceros square dance. Every night, the ceiling shook with the intensity of a stampede, a toddler rodeo, and possibly some unholy goat ritual. No amount of broom handle tapping or polite notes worked, so the downstairs neighbor fought back, with audio warfare. A Bluetooth speaker was placed directly against the ceiling. It played a beautifully disturbing playlist. Slow whispers, medieval chanting, distant crying babies, and the occasional Gregorian monk. 3 nights in, the stomping stopped. A week later, the upstairs apartment was empty. Peace was restored. And the speaker now plays jazz for ambience.
Number 21. You know the type. Doesn't do dishes, doesn't pay rent, treats the apartment like an Airbnb with no checkout date. This guy was a master of disappearing when it was his turn to vacuum or contribute to bills. Somehow, he always had time to finish your snacks and definitely never forgot to leave hair in the shower drain. But karma, my friend, doesn't forget. One by one, the other roommates moved out. Quietly, efficiently, until it was just him, and the landlord, and the rent, and a single note taped to the fridge. "Congrats, you're finally king of the castle," he ruled alone, and soon discovered that the throne gets very cold when no one's around to split the heating bill. Number 22. There's always that one guy in the gym who thinks he's training for the Olympic selfie team. He claimed 4 machines at once, rotated between them at glacial speed, and took mirror selfies like his life depended on the lighting. Others waited, sighed, and silently cursed every protein shake that made this man possible. Until one glorious day, the gym regulars had a plan. As soon as he showed up, they all started offering their machines to him. "You want the elliptical too, bro? Don't forget the rowing machine, legend." One guy brought over a jump rope like it was sacred. Overwhelmed, flustered, and too famous for his own comfort, the machine hog fled the scene. Rumor has it he now works out in his garage, with no Wi-Fi, no mirrors, no followers, just inner peace.
Number 23. Every morning, like clockwork, Karen swooped in and snatched her neighbor's parking spot the second he pulled out. It wasn't hers, never was, but somehow she treated it like manifest destiny, until one morning, the neighbor left early and returned with a vengeance and a trunk full of props. He placed orange construction cones, a rusty folding chair, and a bold sign, reserved for governor, by order of the state. Karen pulled up, paused, read the sign, and slowly backed away. She never parked there again. The cones remain to this day, a sacred monument to passive aggression done right. Number 24. You know what's smarter than cheating on a college exam with a smartwatch? Literally anything. But this one student thought he was a genius. He downloaded the answers, synced them to his watch, and even practiced subtle wrist glancing in the mirror like it was mission impossible. Then, during the exam, the professor walked by, smiled, and casually said, "Oh, by the way, I Bluetooth jammed the room. Let's see who still passes." That was it. The smartwatch became just a sad wrist accessory. The student turned pale, handed in a nearly blank paper, and by next semester had transferred, hopefully to a drama program, because that facial reaction deserved an Oscar. Number 25. At work, there was a girl who copied everything her coworker wore. Not inspired by. No, we're talking full-blown fashion identity theft. If the original wore a red dress, the next day, boom, twin dress. Leopard print pants? You bet. Even mismatched earrings didn't throw her off. So the coworker went rogue. Banana costume? Wore it. Medieval wizard robe with a staff? Yup. Crocs? With socks? And glitter? You better believe it. And the copycat? Followed right along like it was the world's weirdest fashion cult. HR eventually intervened. Not because of the copycatting, but because someone showed up in a dinosaur onesie during a client meeting. Totally worth it. Number 26. You think your HOA is strict? This guy fined people for having mailboxes that were too shiny. Too shiny, as if reflective surfaces summon demons. His other complaint? Your grass is too green. What does that even mean? Should homeowners start watering it with Mountain Dew? One family had had enough. They painted their entire front lawn neon blue with turf paint. Lawn gnomes? Dressed like wizards. Flamingos? Wearing sunglasses. And just to top it off, they put up a big sign. For sale. HOA Free Fantasyland. Tours daily. The cherry on top? The local paper picked up the story. The HOA tyrant was last seen pretending he was just a volunteer. Sure, Steve. Sure. Number 27. Meet the office parrot. She repeated other people's ideas, pitched them as her own, and once presented someone's entire PowerPoint as if she'd been up all night making it. But Karma? Karma had a slide deck of her own. Turns out the original creator of that presentation had a little surprise waiting on the last slide. All work by Sarah Johnson, stolen by... It popped up in 1080p in front of the entire department and the manager. Silence. Awkward blinking. Someone dropped a stapler. Let's just say she didn't get the promotion, or the Wi-Fi password again. Number 28. Everyone's seen that guy at the drive-thru. Laying on the horn, shouting like his fries were late by court order, throwing napkins out the window like angry doves. He was in full "my time is more important than yours" mode. But the car behind him, a lovely, silent, unamused police cruiser. As the Rager peeled out with his lukewarm nuggets, flashing lights came on like a Broadway finale. He got an on-the-spot attitude adjustment complete with paperwork and maybe a free ride downtown. Fast food karma is the best kind. Number 29. At the airport, some joker thought it'd be hilarious to hijack nearby Bluetooth speakers and blast annoying music. Baby Shark, elevator jazz, the whole cursed playlist. But one clever traveler had had enough. He renamed his speaker to TSA surveillance device. When the hijacker connected and saw that pop up, he disconnected faster than you can say random screening. Witnesses say he nervously wiped his phone, turned off Bluetooth, and stared at a vending machine for 20 minutes like it held state secrets. Justice served, with a side of anxiety. Number 30. Ah, yes, the classic. Hey boss, I can't come in today, I'm really sick. Cut to his Instagram story, toes in the sand, beach selfie captioned, living my best life. Bold strategy, Cotton, but guess who followed him? His manager, who replied in the comments, hope you feel better. Say hi to the sunburn. He didn't just burn his skin, he scorched his employment status. The next week, his office was replaced by a job listing. And that beach? Suddenly a little less relaxing. And there you have it. 30 cases where the universe said, play stupid games, win socially acceptable consequences. Whether it was a Bluetooth speaker exorcism, a sandwich with a secret agenda, or the HOA tyrant who finally got HOA'd, one thing's clear. Karma has a sense of humor, and sometimes it uses glitter, memes, or neon lawn paint. If you've ever dealt with a food thief, a noisy neighbor, or a coworker who thinks reply all is a personality, just remember, there's always a clever way to flip the script without flipping a table. If you like this video, hit that like button like it's a passive-aggressive note on your fridge. Subscribe for more stories where poetic justice makes an entrance. And tell us in the comments, have you ever witnessed karma doing its thing in real time? Until next time, stay clever, stay classy, and maybe keep a Bluetooth speaker handy.